Hi everyone. So today I am 6 weeks pregnant and as you can see by the title, and today I'm going to be talking about my symptoms, what I've been feeling, and I'm actually going to talk about how I found out or how I knew I was pregnant even before I took a test or before I missed my period. So I'm going to backtrack a couple of days here, and I have my little notes to the side, so if you see me looking, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Anyways, so February 2nd is the day that I was supposed to get my period or start my cycle. So on January 27th is when I knew for sure that I was pregnant. And I knew this because, I knew this because when I went into the shower that day and I took my bra off, my boobs hurt so bad, so bad. The last time they hurt that bad, I was actually pregnant with Riley, and so that's just how I knew. I knew right away, you know, my boobs had never hurt this bad before. I've got to be pregnant. So on that day, I would have been 3 weeks and 4 days pregnant. Now, normally, or at least my last 2 pregnancies, I didn't feel any symptoms until I was probably almost 3 or 4 months pregnant already. So then Tuesday, January 30th, is when I took my first test. And that was a Walmart test. It was one of those 88-cent ones. And I took it in the afternoon, sometime after lunch. And it came out positive. It's very hard to see, but there is a line there. And then I took another one later that evening, and it was a little bit darker. You could see it a little bit more clear. So then Friday, February 2nd, the day I was supposed to get my period, I decided that I wanted to take one more test, but I wanted it to be a good brand. So I bought the Clear Blue test, and I took a pregnancy test that morning, and it came out positive right away. No, I didn't have to wait very long at all. And so then February 2nd, I would have been 4 weeks and 3 days pregnant. Now, I was using an app called Flow to help track my cycles because I was always irregular before I had my kids. So I thought it'd be cool to actually just make sure that my cycle is regular, help me predict when it's gonna come, and just stuff like that. So within that app, you can log in your symptoms and stuff. So I did that, and now looking back at my symptoms, starting January 14th, that was the day that I would have ovulated. And I had really bad cramps that day. I almost want to say that yes, I felt my body ovulate, and I felt the egg traveling down the fallopian tube and going to where it needs to be. Now the next day, that following day, I had the cramping again. I had a headache and my back hurt that day too. So that's when I think is when the implantation happened. And then starting January 16th, I would get really nauseous at night. Only at night. But I felt tired throughout the day. All I wanted to do was sleep. And my boobs were a little bit sore, like 24/7, but not like extreme, more like when your period's about to start soreness. And only when I took my bra off did they get the intense pain. So then catching us back up to January 27th, that's when my boobs really started to hurt. They were really sore. I was still really tired. All I wanted to do was sleep. Still very nauseous at night. And then February 5th, I felt really bloated, and I was feeling like I was really pregnant already, and almost like I was further along than what I should have been. And I was either super hungry or I didn't want to eat at all. And when I was hungry, I would look for food, but everything looked so gross. Like, I didn't want to eat anything. So up until last weekend, February 10th, is actually when I started to feel a little bit better. I would still get tired. I would only be able to do like 1 or 2 chores a day, or not a day, 1 or 2 chores at a time, and then I would have to sit down and rest because I was just exhausted. Eating got a little bit better, but dinners have always seemed to be the struggle. I am just not hungry. I just don't want to eat dinner, but I still get really nauseous at night. I usually sleep sitting up now, just so that way I don't feel sick to my stomach. And I found that, like, I feel huge. I feel humongous. My pants are already getting too tight. I'm already thinking I'm have to go look at maternity pants just because my pants don't fit anymore. And now that I'm 6 weeks, I feel like I eat all the time. That's all I want to do is eat. Eat everything and anything. I am, however, starting to monitor my blood pressure because my blood pressure did get high. I did have high blood pressure with my last 2 pregnancies, and it tended to stay, like it never went down. I was on medication for it. So I'm monitoring my blood pressure. I already talked to my doctor, and he basically just told me to take a baby aspirin every day right now until, so yeah, I'm just monitoring my blood pressure until I can talk to my doctor about it more face to face and see what our next step would be for that. I am in the process of making a list of questions for my first doctor's appointment. My first doctor's appointment is March 5th, so I will have a follow-up video after that. That is our first prenatal doctor's appointment, so really excited for that one. So unless any big changes happen, I'm not planning on doing any updates until I am 8 weeks, and then I'll just do 7 and 8 weeks together in a video, and then I'll post that one. Do, however, be on the lookout. I will be posting my pregnancy reaction because I did go on camera shortly after taking the test when it was still really fresh in my mind, my reaction and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And then I'm going to make a separate video explaining the reason why I reacted the way I did in more detail. Because everything seems to be okay now. It's a lot more settled down and kind of more routine now. But yeah, I think that's all I have for